Mattress Money Mafia.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Dwight Gibson.
I'm Roderick Payne. And today's topic, I'm sorry, we was eating these gummy worms. Today's topic is, do you feel safe in your city? Why or why not?
In your city or any city?
Any city. And think about it from this aspect. Is your city safer now than it was 5 years ago? Like, we about to go into 2026. We got a few days left in this month, in December. And do you feel that your city is safer with all the happenings that go on? Remember, everything don't make the news. So, I've been in several times. We used to work at a lot of nightclubs. I'm coming home 5 a.m, and I pass by a vehicle completely full with bullet holes. Mm-hmm. It never even made the news.
So what is the definition of safe?
Well,
because for someone that grew up kind of used to violence, what may be deemed safe to that person may be different than what someone else deems safe that's not used to
correct
certain levels of violence.
We talked about this before. We all got that one gas station that might stay open late, but you don't really want to go in there. Mm-hmm. Or you need a gun to go up in there. Do you feel safe going to that location? Do you feel safe after there's a shooting at a mall? What we talked about on the last episode, somebody robbing a jewelry store. Would you feel safe going back into that area of the mall? Taking your family out if something happened in the movie theater. I haven't felt safe since that shooting in Aurora, Colorado, with the guy, the Batman premiere.
I know for me personally, if I lived in that town, I probably wouldn't go to that movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Anymore. That's just off limits. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people, like for me, it changed. I don't go to the movie theater like that unless we all going in a big group. Mm-hmm. And even then, I'm looking on my shoulders that they had a premiere for what is this movie called with the box people? Jack Black was in it. It's not Roblox. It's Minecraft.
Minecraft.
And so
and they were like trashing
the thing. Like, I don't want to be in there with my family when that happens. And they had no security in there whatsoever.
Well, maybe they didn't feel that it was unsafe.
Some movie premieres, Batman, for instance, anytime a superhero movie come out, they going to have law enforcement there in the lobby.
Well,
because it's a kid movie, I think they maybe looked at it like, this ain't that big of a deal.
All things considered, this might be a whole nother topic, a whole nother discussion for a whole nother platform. But when is the last time there's been a movie coming out that, people were really lining up that they wanted to go see?
Yeah, that's true. Some of the movies have been trash.
Think about it. The last movie that had that kind of pull.
It had to be something with a superhero. Maybe Venom?
No. I would say, I'm talking about something that you had to buy tickets in advance because it was going to be sold out for the first week or two. Star Wars, something with George Lucas or Lucasfilm.
Yeah, no, Avatar. Avatar went crazy in the movie theater.
It part one or part two?
Part two, people were anticipating it. To me, it wasn't that good, but...
Yeah, I feel like part two, they kind of copycatted the story from part one for the first hour and 40 minutes of the movie, then it kind of took a turn.
Yeah, but that was the last time that, I know people, if you didn't get a ticket on opening day, you can forget about it. You might as well wait for a matinee like on a Monday or something. But think about how dangerous that scenario could be. And think about who's in the movie theater. It's usually ran by what?
Kids.
Prepubescent teens that are in there as their first job, which probably have very little to no sense of security whatsoever, what to do if somebody passes out, how to work the AED, the fire alarm, how to evacuate everybody, like they don't know. And so when you think about high volume movie theaters, because there's not a whole lot of them left, but you still got the IPEC, and that's like a restaurant. I think they have some small resemblance of security in there, but you got to think of the locations of concern. That definitely concerns me. I look at going to places like we talked about, gas stations, and you realize how dangerous that can be. Like, I don't allow my wife to get gas at the gas station. You know, I try to fill up every week, but it's nerve-wracking because anything can happen. I done been at gas stations and felt nervous about people walking up on me, you know, people saying like, hey, man, what do you do for a living? To me, being born in the 80s and growing up in the 90s, that's like somebody about to punch you in the back of the head when somebody asks you that. Now I know it's like a big internet thing, but to me that makes me nervous. Hey, what do you do for a living? You pumping gas. Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, man, hey, hold on,
I
man.
shoot people that walk up on me like that. Back up.
Yeah. Back up a little bit.
Man.
What dangers concern you the most? If you're thinking about dangerous things that happen, like we all see the news, and I stopped watching the news for the most part because it's like watching a train wreck. Like, you really don't want to watch it, but you can't stop watching every single thing they talk about. It gets worse and worse. Today on the news, man kidnapped by gunpoint and then found tied up with his teeth knocked out. It's like, all right, where did this happen? At a mile from my house? You don't want to see that type of stuff, but the reality is it happens, even if you live in a good area. So what would be your biggest concerns?
Well, to go back to your earlier question, do I feel safer in my city than I did previously? I would say, yeah, I'm not going to say what city it is, but I would say yes. There's crime like it is in every city, but I don't have any particular spot that I would say for myself or anybody that was coming to visit. There's no particular spot that I would say don't go there.
Yeah, don't stop here.
Right.
What about Rainbow City? That might give the city away.
Nah, I still go there.
No problem.
No problem.
But, when you trying to rank, I guess, the things that make you uncomfortable, like somebody jumping out on you, like I seen a lady walk in from a gas station. She left her purse in the car. They stole the whole car, not realizing she also had a child in the back. They had to pull over and let the child out. That was the best case scenario.
They actually pulled over, let the child out?
They threw the child out. They slowed down and put the child out on like a corner during a police chase. Your child in traffic. So, that 1,000% can happen. And speaking of like big, large destinations, like we went to Buc-ee's the other day. Have you been to Buc-ee's? I've
been to Buc-ee's once or twice, while we on the road trip.
It's absolute insanity.
I don't understand the craze.
It's
like a big Walmart that pumps gas.
I think it's their theory is we got so much shit. I mean, so much shit, like chicken tenders and tacos and brisket sandwiches and popcorn. Like, they got so much. Either you go there and go Christmas shopping. And so their sense of security is for real. They actually got security guards at many of the locations walking around, and they look real normal.
That's extremely responsible.
And, if you're going to follow somebody, follow the biggest. But again, those scenarios don't work. Think of what people could come into a gas station with. I can walk in there with an AR-15.
Yeah.
It's really no sense of control. There's not metal detectors. But just speaking about crime, like when you see things like home break-ins, home invasion robbery, somebody home, they knock on the door, hey, FedEx, and you see guys run in. When you think about violent crime, they did a drive-by at somebody's house, or, a block party with some teens erupted in gunfire. Public shootings, anything with shootings make people nervous. Look at the Save the Hood, Peace in the Hood Day. And I think 3 or 4 people got shot. Somebody we know, a bullet grazed his head, blew out his windows, all because people want to be at a gathering. Online scams. People jumping online. I was just watching something early on the news where they was talking about people meeting up to sell things on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, newsflash, it's still dangerous. And people are still going to meet people in dark areas and still getting robbed. Like, it's stupid stuff. So, or drug activity. Anywhere, the dope, every city got a dope hole or where people do drugs at. Like, which one of these things concern you the most? Because they all come on the news pretty much in rotation in that order. But which ones make you the most nervous?
Probably the robbery. Yeah, probably the robbery. Drugs, you're never gonna get rid of drugs, but I would say probably robbery or like a kidnapping.
Yeah, because there's no guarantee that you're going to live. It's not like the movies where tell them to give me 50,000. Some people, especially down here, there was a guy. He actually was a police officer off duty, cutting grass at his house in Miami Gardens, and some people seen him, seen the chain he had on, liked the chain, jumped out, shot him, and took the chain.
Killed him
over a gold chain. Wow. So like certain things you don't realize, and you don't know whose eye you're attracting. Like I don't walk around in my front yard with a bunch of chains on. I really don't want to be seen by the neighbors, but I think that's probably my biggest fear too, is the robberies or the kidnappings, because these are all things that can be deterred with a heightened sense of security, but people just don't take it that serious.
Well, most people, unfortunately, don't pay attention. And don't pay attention to their surroundings. A lot of times, I can't even blame it on women, because I see a lot of men doing it nowadays too, like walking into a store or walking out of a store, not paying attention to their surroundings, looking at their phone, like easy targets, like just walking, looking down, walking towards their car or walking towards the store or wherever, not paying attention to what's going on around them.
Well, and I think it's a heightened sense of security the more people I see at a location, and when I don't see law enforcement. Many of the major chains have what's the one? Wawa. Wawa has security. They're going to use a security guard because they know. Some of them use off-duty police officers. But like when I think of like the places I really don't like going, I don't like going to malls anymore. It's not just the shooting that happened at the one mall, but it's like things can happen. There was another shooting in the mall in Cali. So things can happen in there. You got scumbags walking around looking to kidnap children. You have people that are watching you leave from your car, especially around Christmas time. They're looking at you, go put gifts in your car, they bust out your windows or steal your whole car. Clubs, bars, I think we mentioned on the episode not too long ago, like I enjoy clubs, and I would never want to kill the club industry, but the club industry has to be ran the correct way. If I'm going to be somewhere and I see the pat down is full of shit, I'm bringing my weapon in. But if I'm bringing my weapon in, I don't really want to be there, truthfully.
If you feel like you need to bring your weapon in, you probably should go somewhere else.
Yeah, you probably should go somewhere else. And, when you think about public transit, trains, like you see the girl that was on, I think, the bus, and the dude just stabbed her in the neck. That could happen at any time.
And was that targeted or was that random?
They say he was a schizo. Random. Just stab somebody in the neck, and it's like.
And I just seen that they caught the guy on the exact same train where he stabbed.
Yeah, I mean, he was a nutbag. And then they talking about giving that boy the death penalty, all this stuff. And, it made national news. And when you look at heinous crimes like that, it's all kind of stuff that people do on public transportation. So, unfortunately, those things have became less safe. Parking lots. They got this new thing where they put a rose on a girl's windshield, like under the windshield wiper.
Right.
And when she tries to get it off, either something's on it, whether she's going to pass out, or she gets it off, paying attention to that, they run up behind her and do whatever. So, you got that one. You got the one they put $1 bill in your door handle. And when you open the door, when you try to take it out or whatever, is some type of chemical on it that makes you pass out. Like, think of how dangerous a parking lot could be that's full of people, but nobody's really watching. That's why, like, most malls are going to have security patrolling up and down. But then again, you can see where they at from a mile away. So it's a combination of cameras, lighting, and security guards that make those things safe. Yeah. Do you think that the media exaggerate crimes, or is it truly getting worse?
Probably a little bit of both. I mean, the media has a job to do. They want to keep, eyeballs on them. So however you can spin a story to make it sound more appealing or to get someone to watch, then you're going to do that. But I think in most most cases, crime rates are probably down. Probably going to change here now with the way the economy is looking, but I think for the most part, I mean, in Washington D.C., where they deployed the National Guard.
National Guard.
I
You
believe,
said it right. They released.
I believe they said the crime rate was the lowest it has been in the last 10 years, or something like that. Did you see the video where I think it was in New York where they arrested ICE agents? The NYPD arrested ICE agents.
I seen that, and again, that creates an unsafe environment. Like think about now, they had a lady down here in Key West, and she was screaming. They pulled her over for some unbeknownst reason. They pulled out, asked her for ID. She said, "I'm not giving. What did you pull me over for?" They pull out, put her on the ground in cuffs. She starts screaming, "I'm an American citizen. They're trying to kidnap. I'm an American citizen." And people were just passing by. One person stopped and recorded the whole deal. But think about how easily kidnappers can dress up like ICE. They have no uniform. They have no real type of car. They're not showing ID. A lot of them got masks on. Like it's like opening up Pandora's box, unfortunately. And think of how dangerous that is. Packed places. So people have to think about that now leaving the house. You talk with an accent, you might get popped up on, and they said they're not going to disclose the reason. Remember, it's federal. So they don't have to disclose the reason why they enacted the stop, but they did it. And she came out to be an American citizen, and they had to let her go 10 minutes later.
So why did they stop her?
They said they were not going to disclose the reasons that led to the traffic stop. But
it sounds like a gross violation of rights.
That's pretty much what it is, bud. And so I don't know how the lawsuits are going to work on these things because it's so brand new and it's put in action under some act or some law, and it's not going to be able to be easily sued. They're going to come up with a reason or a rationale, and you're going to have to deal with it. Do you have a security plan for your home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, that's it. That's what most men would say. I am the security plan. Team, I am the team. But yeah, so
me and my cat.
Of course. And I think being a man of the house, you have to think about those things. Like, what if this scenario happens? I mentioned before, I don't let my kids answer the door. I don't let my wife answer the door. Somebody knock on the door, I'm not home, call me. We're going to look at it together on the camera. And then if it's something that look weird, call 911. You got so many people coming to your home now. You got Amazon, you got this, you got Uber Eats. So many people that could potentially turn out to be weirdos that come into your house. There was an Uber driver the other day, I think it was Uber Eats or something like that, and went into the house and killed the lady. Showed up, yeah.
Think about it. Like when we grew up, the big thing was always you don't get in the car with strangers, you don't talk to strangers, you don't accept food or whatever from strangers. But think about it. Nowadays, we pay to get in the car with strangers. We pay for strangers to bring us our food. And we accept food from strangers all the time via several delivery apps.
Yeah, but that's the future that everybody wanted. You could get it done easy. Even your shopping. Think somebody could go through your food and touch everything and poison you with food they're delivering.
They are touching everything.
Yeah.
They're doing your shopping if you're using one of those apps.
1,000%. And so there's really no control factors on that. And then you don't know who's coming. Think about the certification these people have to do the job. None. You got a driver's license, you got a car, or can you borrow somebody's car to get the groceries there? You're hired.
Yeah.
And so, that's the reality of the new world that we live in. So part of understanding safety is understanding that you see what happened the other day in Cali, in Stockton. Kids party, 2-year-old. People got shot. People got killed. This is the reality. You need to hire security in one way, shape, or form. You need to have physical guards there when you're having a gathering. Block parties. We do a bunch of block parties all around the nation. People realize that, this could save us a bunch of liability because you have actual guards here that are supposed to be doing the job to keep the people safe. Everybody comes out for different reasons.
I would just throw a caveat in there and just add one word to what you said, professional. security, because people hire security
That's right.
all the time. A lot of people don't hire professional security.
Mm-hmm.
So they may have a friend or two, or know someone that knows somebody that does security, but they're not licensed, they're not insured, they're not trained, they're just big.
I seen a lot of these guys, the puffy videos out, totally off subject, but the puffy videos out, and everybody's talking about the video and all this stuff. And you're talking about professionalism. Many of the people that are giving interviews and gave that information are security guards that were hired to do a job and end up disclosing the information. In the business, that's a no-no.
I was gonna say that's
Discretion is
not
everything,
cool, right?
And I don't want that to paint a bad face on security. Like a lot of people may not want people around family gatherings. Hire some professionals. The professionals are going to be there and do a professional job. Then they're going to professionally leave. They're not there to be the life of the party or to try to be your friend or to try to talk to your wife. They do the job and then they leave.
But you mentioned about the security team disclosing, but were they professional security, or were they just someone that knew someone
99% of those
that
guys
did security?
All those guys were just big, and most of them didn't have one certification. That's the reality. And we work in that industry, and I know a lot of very large guys that do security that don't have no license. Oh, man, I can't get no license because of X, Y, and Z. So it's not saying.
And a lot of people hire these people.
1,000%, because size is everything with a lot of people. Remember that when you're hiring guards, vetting the guards, going through everything, you want to make sure you're hiring professionals and then make sure that they understand what they're going there to do. Your job is not to sit there and talk to people. Nothing pisses me off. Jerry Springer, I think he passed away.
I believe so.
Jerry Springer came to Live nightclub one night, and he was in there, and he had a guy with him, had a roll of hundreds like this. He was passing out, giving everybody hundreds. And he came in, and this guy that worked on the security team that we were working, that worked for the club, seen him in there, and he knew the guy. He was like, "Man, I used to work for them." And the guy came over to me. I was a supervisor. He said, "Hey, I know this guy. He's gonna talk Jerry's ear off. Can you tell him to back up?" So we had to get him up out of there. But again, professionalism. Even if you know somebody, you're at an event. Right now, they just had Art Basel in Miami, and the whole world was here. Could you imagine a professional security guard, Jay-Z in town, Rihanna, all of these people? This is event season. We come all year long in Florida. Is event season. LA is event season. New York is event season. So all the major hubs, there's always something going on. You want to have the correct event security. If you have a building and you're trying to operate where you have people living, just like you feel safe about certain things in your home, people that live in buildings want to feel safe about their home too. How many times have security guards messed up, or people had no security in a complex and people just walked up in there?
That happened.
Yeah.
In downtown Miami a couple of years ago. I wonder whatever happened with that incident. Remember the guy walked in, went up the elevator, went to someone's apartment,
And sexual assaults them.
SA'd somebody, and then left, and then the boyfriend
Called
came
him.
home. Yeah.
And the other one, that a girl was in a parking garage just not too long ago. Some guy, schizophrenia, whatever he's going through, stabbed a girl to death. And in the parking garage in her complex. So in many ways, security becomes that deterrent. Why? Not because they're so big and this is because they're going to see this guy and they're going to go and press him. Hey, what are you doing here? I think that's one of the top things with safety is you want to have a preventative measure versus, we're just going to call the police. Man, the police sometimes in some areas got a 30-minute or an hour hold. So you got to know what city you're in and know, the safety all really depends on how fast the police can get there. I went to Las Vegas not too long ago. And I was in Vegas, and for once I flew out there, and I didn't bring my gun because I seen some rapper, I think it was Lil Baby, got caught with a gun in the casino, and they was talking about giving him some time. I said, oh, man, that can happen. So they don't want no firearms in there. But I really sat down and really paid attention to what I was doing while I was there. You're walking through hotels the whole time. There's security everywhere. Then you have armed security. Then you got law enforcement everywhere on the strip. Mm-hmm. So in a city like that, they take security real serious because that's the only thing. That strip in Vegas is all that's going on. So the response time over there is awesome, but the amount of security they have for everything is there. I'm talking about security just walking around, bodyguards, you name it. You know, Vegas is a hot spot for that. New York, tightly congested area, security for everything. So just a few tips.
If you need security or security consultation, you can find us online at www.fastguardservice.com, or you can reach us by phone at 844-254-8273. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you, and have a great day.
Have a nice one.
It's Mattress Money Mafia.